Hello, my name is Nigel MacLennan, and thank you for listening to this audio article entitled Culture Management: How to Manage Any and Every Culture Successfully. To make any organization or culture change program work, you must understand culture and how to manage it. You need a firm, practical grasp of culture management. Leaders who have that grasp succeed in their leadership and culture change projects. Those who have no or limited understanding of culture management usually fail. Sadly, that means that 85% of all culture change programs fail. Make sure that your culture change programs succeed. Learn the art of culture management. You've probably observed for yourself that between 70 and 85% of all culture change programs fail, and fail expensively. Yet some leaders have a 100% success track record. All of their culture change programs work, and work every time. How can they possibly achieve that level of success when the overwhelming majority of culture change programs not only fail, but actually harm the companies that they were supposed to help? What are the culture leaders doing right? What are they doing that is different? How can you do it too? Firstly, they really understand human nature. They know why people resist culture change. They know how to get people who would normally resist culture change under any other leadership to embrace and even champion culture change. That knowledge is powerful, but on its own, not powerful enough. If it were, psychologists or anthropologists would be paid a fortune to lead culture change programs, and as you've probably noticed, they are not. Knowledge of the human condition is useless unless it is coupled with an understanding of the circumstances in which those human characteristics work. Effective culture leaders can interpret the human condition through their accurate and detailed knowledge of the management and cultural circumstances. Of course, again, as you will no doubt have seen, most leaders claim to have that coupling. It's fairly evident by the very low success rate that most leaders do not have that coupling. Clearly, something is missing. What more does it take to master culture management? To get to that point requires a tried and tested sequence of steps. Observational awareness is the first. The second is an understanding of the way the phenomena called culture behaves. It has predictable patterns. Learning what those patterns are is vital to understanding culture in full. Step number 3 is being able to define culture in a way that works in the real world. Ask 1,000 managers to define culture, and unless they already understand culture management, and you'll get at least 3,000 different definitions. As a well-educated person, you know that how you define something shapes how you see it, and therefore how you treat it. If you buy the perfect culture, the art of culture management, you will acquire the one definition of culture that will guide you to successful culture management every time. Even a definition that provides crystal clarity is not enough to master the art of culture management. There must be more. What is it? Knowledge of what it takes to make any culture change work in nearly any circumstance. What? I can hear the skeptics shout. You can't possibly know what can make culture change work in any circumstance. It's way too complex. Yes, it does seem unlikely, until you remember that all things seem complicated until we understand the simple principles behind the apparent complexity. Culture change is just the same. What was once complicated and beyond reach becomes simple to understand and much easier to manage with full awareness of the underlying principles. World-class culture management is now within your grasp. Even more encouragingly, there are only a handful of key principles you must apply to manage your culture to achieve what you could achieve. Understanding culture, being able to define it, are all very well, but understanding without the ability to act is useless. So, what's next? There is a simple and effective model to enable you to manage culture. When you understand the culture management model, you can conceptually take control of your organization's culture. And when you underpin the culture management model with the principles required to make it work, you have the ability to control, change, or manage cultures as you see fit. Here is a key point, and if you forget everything else in this article, this is the one to remember. you can learn how to manage your business culture so that your culture manages your business. I'm going to repeat that sentence because many times people miss its impact on first hearing. You can learn to manage your business culture so that your business culture manages your business. That is the quantum leap in performance that all the top leaders have taken and that you can take as well. Imagine what you could achieve if you could create the culture that you want. You probably have a very clear idea of what your organization could be achieving if you could harness the untapped power of culture. If some leaders can lead multiple successful culture changes, there must be a systematic method. There must be a quick, effective way of doing what they can do over and over again, so consistently. That must mean that they are doing something that their peers are not. That something must be massively more effective. That something is culture management. You can gain control of your culture. You can make your culture deliver the results you want. Once you have understood culture and the levers that you can use to control it, you will transform yourself from being a manager to being a true leader, an effective leader, a leader who can shape the future of an organization quickly and apparently effortlessly. Of course, obtaining control of a culture only appears effortless when you know exactly what you're doing. What implications will it have for your career if you understand and can apply culture management and your peers cannot? What implications will it have for your company if you understand and can apply culture management and your competitors cannot? No amount of management or leadership effort can overcome the wrong culture if an organization's leaders don't understand culture management. By contrast, much less management and leadership is needed when leaders have already put in place the mechanisms of culture management. They have the levers of culture directly under their control. Such leaders get more done in less time. They achieve a higher return on investment and can achieve outcomes that are completely impossible for the culture management novice. By applying the principles and techniques in the perfect culture, you set and train a sequence of events which are massively out of proportion to the effort involved. A great culture is self-sustaining and is largely self-managing. Of course, to get to that point, you will need the skills and knowledge of culture management. Given that change is inevitable in the leadership competition for survival, those leaders who are best equipped to create and manage the cultures necessary to thrive rise to the top. You can save your company a fortune. With the average cost of culture change programs in the UK at between 10 million and 15 million pounds, depending on sector and size, the potential for savings by making just a few improvements to any culture change program is massive. Since 85% of all culture change programs fail, the potential to preserve all the capital invested in the culture change is huge. Every day, millions of leaders all over the world spend vast amounts of money trying to solve expensive problems that need never have arisen if they had management control of their culture. Why would anybody spend that kind of money solving entirely preventable, expensive problems when the techniques to create an aligned culture are available to you for the price of 2 days minimum wage labour? Great leaders take action. Great leaders know that culture management is essential for superior organizational performance. If you want to learn how to manage your organizational culture so that your organizational culture manages your organization, so that you don't have to, so that you can concentrate on leadership activities, if you want to learn the art of culture management, you can buy The Perfect Culture from www.maclennan.biz/The Perfect Culture, or you can go to the independent site, which is www.theperfectculture.com. Thank you for listening to this audio article, and I wish you every success with your next culture change program. Goodbye.